Okay, good evening everyone. We have today the greatest Suda, the Hilula of the R.BEN Ben Shchai. Today is day of Hilula. The great rabbi of the Baghdad, R.BEN Chaim, that he was one of the rabbis that showed to the older Sephardic world that he knew the Torah back and forth. He not only knew the halachot, he also knew Kabbalah. He knew the Kabbalah, and each generation also was Kabbalah Mekubalim, Rav Shimon Agassi. They was the head of the exile in each generation. That we know the oldest Faradim, even Bukharian people, they are following the R.BEN Chaim in halachot. After a couple of generations, I don't know how many generations, came Rav Yosef, and he made change. Not change his halachot, just since people couldn't handle his psak halachot, because R.BEN Chaim was follow only the Ari Kadosh. For him, Ari Kadosh was Kodesh Kodeshim. There is no such kind of thing, different way of the halachot. That's the following of the Ben Shchai was. And he made a lot of halachot, but most of them he tried to follow the minhagim the R.BEN Ari Kadosh. Somehow that Hashem wanted, and through the generations came Rabbi Rav Yosef, and he made much more simple way of the halachot. Because not everybody was already handle the halachot, the chumrot, the stringencies of the R.BEN Chaim. But by himself, R.BEN Chaim was biggest person, very high level and intelligent, and by Ruach HaKodesh he succeeded. Ruach HaKodesh almost knew even in his generation the reincarnation of people. He already almost received a level of the knowing reincarnation of people, whoever what reincarnation was. I know that R.Shalom is going to tell you more details about that. I just a couple of minutes just to say one thing. You should know one thing, that when we doing Hilula of the Tzaddikim, doing Suda, I believe that the guy who give us support for this Suda is doing very great mitzvah. That you're not going to imagine yourself. The Chassidut teaching us that the Suda of the Tzaddik, he doing the tikkunim of the fasting, not all of them, most of your averot, the possibility to clean them up. Just through eating, divide yourself, and to make the Hilula of the Tzaddik, and speaking the Brei Torah, because he's chud right now all over the place. Whoever doing the Hilula of the Tzaddik, for example, like today of R.BEN Chaim, his neshama appear there, and he have to take the place to nullify the negativities, the Zerut Kashot Varaot, all the bad stuff, and they bring the bracha in that place. So it's a chut that Baruch Hashem, our show, time to time we specifically taking some tzaddikim and doing the Hilula, the Brei Torah, that his chut should be magen aleinu, yagen alechem al kulanu. Now I believe that R.Shalom is going to say a lot of story about him, how he was child, and besides that, some say he was the Gilgul ben Ayav ben Yodah, some say he was Gilgul Yoav ben Tzuriyav, so we're not sure. But basically, he made many tikkunim through those tzaddikim, the ben Ayav ben Yodah and Yoav ben Tzuriyav. So we know that ben Ayav ben Yodah was the biggest person. It was not only the general of King David, he was the biggest Kabbalist. You could imagine yourself, if you knew what is that, the Zohar talks about Ben Ayav ben Adam. So I don't want to just continue, we'll speak to give the talk to the R.Shalom B'chavod.
Okay guys, לכבוד the Hilula of Morim Rabbeinu Ben Ishchai, Ilun Nishmat, this sure was sponsored by Nishmat Ephraim ben Norjon, Yosef ben Edina, and Istam bat Perina, and also Atzlachat Moshe Chaim ben Shemuel, who all gave generously to the Seudah without thinking twice. You know, how I know that the zchut of a tzaddik is powerful. Some tzaddikim, they're mamash nistarim. When I'm making a hilula, sometimes I have to wait an hour for somebody to say, I got it. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3. Sometimes, mamash, at the last moment, somebody says, I'm going to get it. I never say, do it. I always just say, we're looking to get for the tzaddik. Some tzaddikim, I put. After a couple of minutes, somebody already says, we got it. Like this past Monday for Chacham Menachem Menashe, I put it for his Hilula. Right away, somebody said.
No.
Some tzaddikim, when I put for their Hilula, we're going to do a Hilula for the tzaddik, I don't even have to put it. 5 days already before somebody says I got it. That's the Ben Ish Chai. That's the Ben Ish Chai.
People know about it.
People, yeah. Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, I want to take his sefer over here. I don't know. Me and my father, when I got married, and I went to some tzaddikim and I asked them, we want to have a child, and they said go to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Lag BaOmer. Remember, you were with us?
Yeah.
And I remember it's a mountain. Meron is a mountain. On the base of the mountain, Yeshivat R.Shalom makes a big tent, maybe like 300, 400 people are there. Free food, free everything. They learn Torah the whole night, Zohar. Then they sell the Kaddish for like, I don't know, what is it? 200,000 shekel, 300,000 shekel, just to say Kaddish. They sell the Kaddish for the whole Zohar of the night for 3, and the guy doesn't even say Kaddish. The rabbi says Kaddish for him, yeah. He doesn't even say, he just buys the marriage. You say, Yiduni Shmato. So I remember we were going there, we were in Meron, me and my wife and my father. We rented a small room over there. And we were looking for the tent. We couldn't find it. And then we found out that the tent it's down a very steep ravine. It's very, very dangerous. I remember my father is obviously much older than me. Without any question, he jumps down the ravine. I'm staying over there saying, and then I went after and he was holding my hand. I'm like, oh, Shem, help me out. At the end, we went down, and right away, the first book that I saw, they were selling Sfarim of the Yeshiva over there, was the Sefer of the Ben. This is the original picture of the Ben Ish Chai. The original. Right here. This is the original picture they photographed of him. He was 26 years old over here.
Wow. In picture?
In this picture, he's 26 years old. The Baba Sali, as my father used to tell me when I was younger, used to say about the Ben Ish Chai that he had the dikna of whoever learns a little Otzrot Hayim of Arichan Pin. The Baba Sali used to say about him that he had a perfect beard. The perfect beard. And the Baba Sali used to cry. Baba Sali family, from his mother's side, I believe, they were hairless. They didn't have any hair. And he used to cry as a child, how come he doesn't have a beard? Mamash.
Big tragedy.
Like it was a mamash a tragedy. One day he cried so much, he woke up, one hair came out over here, one came out over here, one came out over here. Some shorashim. The Gemara says that there were some families of Jewish people that were hairless. For example, Rabbi Yochanan, the Chavruta of Rish Lakish, he didn't have any bodily hair. That's why Rish Lakish thought he was a woman. He was taking a shower in the river and he thought he was a woman from the back because he was a Nazir. The Baba Sali's mother's side of the family, he was genetically connected to her, so he had no facial hair. And he cried, he always used to cry, I want to look like the Ben Ish Chai. This is the real beard, and it's interesting. Tell me if I'm wrong. The Ben Ish Chai passed away on the 13th day. How many Tikkunei Dikna are there? 13 Tikkunei Dikna. On the 13th of Elul he passed away, and the whole Elul, what's being revealed? The 13th Tikkunei Dikna, which is basically the 13 attributes of mercy that we say so many times in Selichot. So we see how everything connects, and there's no coincidences. In Torah Emet, Moshe Emet, El Shaddai Emet, as the Ben Ish Chai said, I'm going to teach you a certain sigula that I've started to do myself. I'm from the Ben Ish Chai HaKadosh. The Ben Ish Chai, to explain to you who he was, is impossible. He was so great. Ashkenazim, Chasidim, Sfaradim, The whole Jewry called him, all the Jewish world called him Rosh HaGolah. They begged him. They begged him to be the chief rabbi of Israel. They begged him, the Rishon LeZion. You know, we say, Rishon LeZion, Rishon LeZion, the first of Tzion. Today, people to be Rishon LeZion, Shochad, Zeh, to be the Rishon LeZion, you know, Kavod. Who's going to vote for me, this, that. You know what he said when they told him to be Rishon LeZion?
No.
He said, no. I'm not going to be Rishon LeZion. Unbelievable. The level of prishut and tzidkut that he had was unbelievable. Well, let's go back. We're talking about the Ben Ish Chai today, you have to understand. We're speaking about him, his neshama is being revealed in this place. No matter what your spiritual level is, and the Anshe Chasidut used to say, Sa'adeni ve'ivashea. As my father said a couple of minutes ago, in the Hilula of a tzaddik, when you eat, it's like you're fasting.
Yeah.
When you eat, it's like you're fasting. Why? The Baal Chesed LaAvraham, the Chida's great-grandfather, says in his book Chesed LaAvraham, there are certain, every time you eat during the week, during the year, some of the food goes to the Samech Mem. And that's when after you pass away, there's something called Chibut HaKever, where they ask you for your name, and if you don't answer, Osim Havid Havid Vela Barich, like we do in the Aravot after Sukkot. So the Ben Ish Chai, so when a person, the Chesed Avraham says, every time you eat food, you're adding to your Satan. Because food is the number one ta'ava. Rav Nachman of Breslov says there's three main ta'avot. Food, money, and women. The highest is food. Food is no, it's not. Because woman you can get sick of. Food you're never going to get sick of. It's a point, right? And Rav Nachman of Breslov says the shigaon, the craziness, the Satan makes you believe that you can't live without the other two. But really it's the food that makes you crazy. In fact, if you pay attention, when you eat a lot, you feel more prone to do averot. When you're full, you want to do more averot. The food brings a heaviness to you. And you have no attraction to mitzvot. However, the Chesed LaAvraham says, when you eat in the Hilula of a tzaddik, none of the things that you eat over there goes to the Satan. Everything goes to the Kedusha. Everything. Unbelievable. That's why tonight, if there's leftover food, I wouldn't leave it over here, guys. I will take a little bit with me home. Because that food gets kadosh. This is kadosh food. It's like Shabbat food. The Baba Sali would only eat a Hilula of tzaddikim. He wouldn't even eat. To eat, he would say, today is the Hilula of this tzaddik, and we would make a party out of it. And in his party, he would only invite people with beards. No beard, you don't get invited. I'm saying you the truth.
Yeah.
Am I wrong or not?
Yes.
100%. Why? I know there's some tzaddikim, they make yeshuot, salvations for people. They take upon themselves to grow a beard. The Lubavitcher Rebbe used to tell people, Lubavitcher Rebbe, I'm not going that far. The Gemara says a person can't have two tables. What does that mean, two tables? You can't enjoy this world and enjoy the next world. Either you suffer here and enjoy there, or either you enjoy here and suffer there. You can't have both. Enjoy here and enjoy there. Lubavitcher Rebbe said except for one person. Person who grows a beard. Emet. There's actually a whole video on this. On YouTube. About a person who asked the Lubavitcher Rebbe, how could I be like Rabbi Yehuda Nasi? Enjoy this world and the next world. You know what he told him? Grow a beard.
Really?
Yes.
Say again.
Grow a beard, he told him. How beard does it have to be? I'm pretty sure he meant never to cut it, but I'm sure you could trim it a bit.
Like Ben Ish Chai.
I don't want to contradict myself, you know what I mean?
Confirm.
But to shave it off totally, make glatki.
What about shape ups? That's not okay.
I'm not talking about styles and stuff. I'm not so into the times. Now, Morin of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai, when he was a young boy, I'm going to tell you a phenomenal story. Phenomenal. In the Sephardic world, we don't have such a thing that the person, when he was a child already, he was known to be some great prodigy, this, that. But like Hasidim and Litzaim, they say about their rabbis, he was 7 years old, he knew the whole Shas. He was 8 years old, he had a Magid already. He was 9 years old, he was making golems. We don't have such a thing. But they say about Morinu Rabbeinu, Akadosh, Rosh B'nei Agola. And I'm going to tell you stuff about him today you never heard before in your life. Morinu Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim Baghdad. They say about him, when he was about 8, 9 years old, he was a very quiet boy, very shy boy. And they already knew, you could tell something from a child since he's a young boy. You could tell a little something. Something you could tell, He's going to be a shovav, he's going to be an outside person, an inside person, a Talmid Chacham or not. You see what the kid wants. Today we shove the kids with YouTube and this and that, so it's hard to tell. But some things the parent could tell. So he was a very quiet boy, but when it came time for recess, when the kids used to leave the kutab, they used to call it. They wouldn't call it gan, they would call it kutab. They would leave the kindergarten. They used to go recess. They used to tell the young Yosef Chaim, "Come play with us, play with us." He would stay inside and he would, review his Aleph Bet. And what's interesting, some kids are loners. They come, they sit by themselves. He would always have a small crowd of small kids from the Keitana, from the Kutab, sitting with him, reviewing the Aleph Bet. Like they would rather sit with him in the Keitana. Yes, and play something very interesting. Not that he would teach them Gemara and something. We don't have these kind of stories, right? He would sit with them, learn the Aleph Bet, whatever they used to do in class. They wouldn't go out. When he was about 9 years old, he went out on a walk with his sister. Back then, to get water, they would dig wells, especially in Iraq. It's on the Gihon River, one of the biggest rivers. And it's an arid, dry weather over there. There was no rain. When it was rain over there, it was shahiyan v'kiman v'gyan lazaman hazeh. So they would dig a lot of wells from the river. And he wasn't looking where he was going. He was a 9-year-old boy. He falls inside the well. 50 feet down. For most children, that's like sudden death. The water is freezing. There's no way out. The fear itself could get the child into shock. He was 9 years old. His sister saw her brother fall inside the well. She ran to get somebody to help. There was no phones, this and that. She ran. He was stuck over there 1 hour, 2 hours. When the time they came, his father's name was Eliyahu Chaim. He thought, that's it, he's gonna say Kaddish for him. But when they pulled him up, he was alive. And when they brought him back to life, like he was be'akara, they asked him, how did you stay alive? He said, when I was down there, I felt, this 9-year-old boy, I felt like I was alone with Hashem. This is Moran Ben Ish Chai. This is a true story. He said, I made a neder, a vow to God. If He's going to save me from this, I'm going to dedicate my whole life to Torah. A 9-year-old boy could come up to say, make a neder, to dedicate his whole life at 9 years old. And he said, I felt like something was keeping me warm.
Wow. So he fell.
He was inside the well.
Okay.
He felt that something was keeping him warm. Because he was 3 hours down there in the well, To be alive over there, it's not only a miracle, it's a miracle of miracles. One very interesting story, I love this story. I can't wait to say this to my kid when he grows a little older. The Ben Ish Chai's father, Rabbi Eliyahu Chaim, he was a big tzaddik. very anav, very humble. He was very rich. הוא זכה לשתי שולחנות, עולם הזה ועולם הבא. Every day, every week, he used to give his kids allowance. Here's $20, $10. Go buy yourself mamtakim. Mamtakim is sweets. On one condition, on the Shabbat table, you're gonna come. You're gonna say the brachot out loud in front of everybody. I'm gonna test you if you guys know how to say brachot. That's the way he would train his kids. So he would give everyone. The Ben Ish Chai was the youngest out of all the kids. He was the baby. He would give him money, $10. Every week, all the kids would come. They would bring their mamtakim, their Laffy Taffies, Schmaffy Taffies, candies, chocolates, and they would make it all. Ben Ish Chai, the young boy, the Yosef Chaim, used to say to his father, Abba, I was too hungry on the way home. I ate everything. So his father, it's a baby. He didn't think anything of him. Like this, week after week. One day, his sister, his oldest sister, his eldest sister, said it can't be, because she knew her brother, he was a very serious boy, that he's stuffing down the mamtakim, the candies. She followed him. He was maybe 6 years old. Gabriel, 6 years old. This is not a crazy story, but it's a crazy story. She follows him in the bazaar in Baghdad. She sees, instead of him buying mamtakim with the allowance money, he's buying a lafa, piece of fish. He puts it in a bag and he goes to the ghetto part of Baghdad. He knocks on an old woman's house and he said, here, this is Lichot Shabbat Kodesh. Doesn't that warm your heart? 6 years old. And he would do this every week. And if we mention, but the Ben Ish Chai was crazy about chesed, even growing up. That Shabbat, all of them come to the table, and everyone brings their chocolates, this, that. And the Ben Ish Chai tells his father, Yosef Chaim says, Abba, I ate my candies. Right away, the sister gets up and says, I'm gonna op you out. I'm gonna put you on blast over here. Abba, he doesn't eat his candies. He's buying food and giving it to the almanah somewhere in a ghetto. His father said, you're tricking me? You're doing tzedakah? Now I'm going to give you double. You're going to double the tzedakah. That's what he did. He gave him double the tzedakah. This is the Morning of Ben Ish Chai. He's a young boy. This is just his actions. This is a small glimpse of his actions. How about his Torah? I want to let you know, in the Jewish world, we have something called Sarei Alafim, generals of thousands. Sarei Me'od, generals of hundreds. Sarei Asarim, Sarei Asarim, Sarei Asarot, Sarei Isrim, Sarei Asarot. We have people, some rabbis, they're very good at giving speeches. Some rabbis are excellent in Gemara. Some rabbis are excellent in Shulchan Aruch. Some rabbis are excellent in Kabbalah. Some rabbis are excellent in Kabbalah Ma'asit. Every rabbi has his own thing that he's good at. The Ben Ish Chai was an expert in all parts of the Torah, Pardes, the Pardes Pshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. He was an expert. He wrote over 50 books in his life. Rabotai, 50 books, not 1 page, 5 pages books, not notebooks. 50 books. Books. Rav Yeshua Sharabani, one of the great rabbis of Porat Yosef, used to say that we knew that our rabbi, who was a young boy, had Hashba'at Kulmus. You know what Hashba'at Kulmus is? He used to make us swear on the pen. He used to just think, and the pen would write his thoughts. Like they say, Moshe Rabbeinu on the last day of his life, how did he write the Torah? He died on Shabbat. The Rambam says he had Hashba'at Kulmus. He said Shem Hashem, and it started to write. Morain of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai, every Shabbat Kodesh. This is our rabbi, guys. I remember I once bought a book. One of my friends in Kollel, he told me of a book. The Rav Ovadia Yosef had a chavruta. His name was Rav Eliyahu Shitrit, Moroccan rabbi. He was his chavruta, and he wrote in his diary all the personal things, all the personal encounters he had with Rav Ovadia Yosef. One of the personal encounters Rav Ovadia Yosef once told Rav Eliyahu Shitrit, listen to this, guys. He said to him one day, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef was a young boy. He went to an Ashkenazi yeshiva to learn. He had a certain pshat, a halachic pshat. He goes to the Rosh Yeshiva or the Mashgiach, I don't know who it was back then. He tells him his pshat, his Torah thought. The guy looks at him, the Ashkenazi Rav, the very famous yeshiva. In the book it says over there who it was and everything. He tells him, "You Sfaradim, you're a dry piece of wood." Tells him, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, you had one rabbi once upon a time that was a big rabbi. His name was the Rambam. From the Rambam till today, who are you guys? Tells Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, he's a young yeshiva guy. So he tells him back, we had somebody who was called Morenu v'Rabbeinu R.BEN that you guys can't even get to his glima. You guys can't even get to his... He was such an expert. When he was 15 years old, 15, they sent from Eretz Israel a very complex halachic question. There was only one etrog in a city. One etrog. And that etrog belonged to a boy under the age of 13. He was an orphan. And he had something called an apotropos. How do you say apotropos in English? A caretaker. And the halacha is you can't buy something from a katan. Now they need an etrog to do that etrog, but they can't buy it from him. Can they buy it from his caretaker, his apotropos? They sent this question from Israel to Baghdad to the Ben Ish Chai's father. The Ben Ish Chai's father was a very busy man. He was a rabbi of Bavel. He saw the question. He said, tomorrow I'm going to answer. The Ben Ish Chai was 15 years old. He sees the question. That night he writes a 5-page response. He sends it without his father knowing, telegram. Yashar to Eretz Israel. The next day his father comes to the library, he sees the question, he writes an answer, same exact answer to the people at Eretz Israel. They send his father back an answer. Your son already answered us the question yesterday. Thank you very much. You should say thank you to Hashem, you have a son like that. He was 15 years old. That they could use that etro. This is our heritage, guys. We have to be proud of this. Proud. We have to know we have such potential. Moreno Rabbeinu R.BEN Ish Chai, not only was he a master in halacha, he was a huge Baal Chesed. Huge. What does that mean, Baal Chesed? He was a rich guy because he inherited his father's business. His brothers told him when he was a young boy, when his father passed away, how old his father was how old was he when his father passed away? 26 years old. This is the picture they took. And the one picture they have, when his father passed away, he allowed them to photograph him. They asked him, do you accept upon yourself to be chief rabbi of Iraq? Not of Baghdad, of Iraq. You know what he said? I'm not accepting my position. If you want, I'll give drashot once in a while, answer questions. He was the chief without accepting the position. Today we have chiefs without being offered the position. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. It's called self-chiefs. I call them chief Indians. Yeah, Native American. Yeah, they're pseudo-Indians. That's what I call them.
Self-made chiefs.
Yeah, self-made chiefs. The Ben Ish Chai was 26 years old. I want to tell you something interesting about him. When he used to walk in the street, in the bazaar, he would barely walk outside. He was very parush. The Arabs, our cousins, used to close their shops to look at the mullah. They would close their shops to look at his face. He was 26 years old over here. Just to look at his face. He would never allow a woman that's a nida to look at him. He said, a woman that's a nida that looks at me gives me tum'ah. Sometimes you walk in the street, in the city, stuff like that. Suddenly you feel a very big downfall. Why do you feel that downfall? The tum'ah is crashing upon you. It's mamash crashing upon you. Don't worry, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't come betrunia and briotav. He comes, he knows what's your situation, this and that, but all these stuff's there. Rav Chaim Falaji, another great tzaddik, we should make a big hilula upon him. When he used to give a drasha, he used to cover his eyes. He said, all the ayin hara and the tumah comes through the eyes. I want to cover it. He used to give a drasha like that. He used to give a drasha, the Ben Ish Chai, every Shabbat. You know how many hours? 3 hours every Shabbat. You guys can't handle drasha for 40 minutes. He used to give for 3 hours, but he used to give a drasha for 3 hours every Shabbat. And 4 times a year, he used to give a drasha for 4 hours. Before Yom Kippur, before Pesach, and before Shavuot. He used to give a drasha for 4 hours. You know what that is for 4 hours? Do you know how many people used to fit in the shul? 10,000 people. No microphone. This is a rabbi for 100 years ago. Today, I think this year is 107th or 8th yard site. 10,000 people, no microphone. Everyone heard him like it was mamash, like he was blasting. When he passed away and his son took over, he was a big tzaddik too, Rabbi Yaakov Chaim. They were screaming at him, "Hey, raise your voice, raise your voice!" He says, guys, the Shekhinah was speaking from my father's throat. You think I know what I'm saying over here? I'm telling you a crazy story, crazy. Ben Ish Chai, Moreno Beno Akadosh, Moreno Beno Ben Ish Chai. I want to say 3 more stories. I'll tell you guys good night. When he was in the month of Elul, he wouldn't give speeches. No speeches, no nothing. He would close up his house, take a caravan, and go to the grave of Yecheskel HaNavi. Yecheskel HaNavi is buried in Iraq. There's 4 big Rabbanim, Yeshua Kohen Gadol, Yecheskel HaNavi, Ezra HaSofer, very big Nevi'im buried over there. He would go there for a month. In the whole month of Elul, he wouldn't give Divrei Torah, he wouldn't give Shiurim, nothing. The whole month of Elul, he would go, the whole month, and he would stay at the grave of Yecheskel HaNavi, and he would just be mitboded over there. He would bring 10 tzaddikim with him. They were only allowed to talk to him just to pray Shacharit, Mincha, and Aravit with the Minyan. That's it. After that, they weren't allowed to come into the grave. He would be there for a month, being Mosif Kiddusha, Kiddusha. Unbelievable. He'd bodedut for 1 month. The whole month of Elul. This is Chodesh Elul, guys. This is Chodesh Elul. Tell you guys one sigula, whoever's listening, one sigula for the month of Elul in the name of Yitzhak Kaduri. To say in the 13th day of Elul, the 13th chapter of Tehillim, 13 times. Whoever over here still hasn't tapped into the month of Elul yet, tonight is the night to change everything. Tonight you could change your whole month of Elul to mamash, slichot, bakashot, tfilot, tzedakot. Rabotai, tzedakot. Tzedakat atzil mimavet. You're going to Rosh Hashanah, Rabotai, the Ben Ish Chai, every day. Every single day. He was a rich guy. What does that mean, rich? He wouldn't give money. He would make a big table, like this table he would make. All the poor people in the ghetto used to come sit on his table. He would give them Divrei Torah. He made a book out of it called Benayahu. He made a book out of it called Benayahu. All his Divrei Torah used to give to the poor people. This was the Ben Ish Chai every day. Not one day he missed. Whole table for poor people. I'm talking about him. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm telling you the truth. We all know there are 5 worlds. Ak, we don't speak about. Atzilut, Birya, Yetzira, and Asiya. Corresponding these 5 worlds are 5 parts of your soul. Yechida from the top. Yechida, Chaya, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh. The Ben Ish Chai was Zochet to a Neshama from Atzilut. One day he makes a party. He thought in his dream that he got Nefesh of Atzilut. You know what it is to get Nefesh of Atzilut? You're never going to sin again in your life. Never. Ein chet ba'al yado. The Ben Ish Chai, 6 years of his life he fasted. 6 years he fasted, guys. You know what I mean? 6 years he fasted. He did Tshuvat HaKaneh. You know Tshuvat HaKaneh? Before the Zohar was written, there was a book called Sefer HaKaneh. It was written by Rabbi Chunya ben HaKaneh. He was the Rebbe of Rabbi Akiva. The whole thing about him in the Gemara. He was a big Mikubal. He wrote a book before the Zohar. Rabbi Chunya ben HaKaneh says if you want to destroy your Yetzer Hara, you have to fast for 6 years. On the 7th year, you're not going to have a Yetzer Hara. How are you going to fast for 6 years? You eat at night. However, at night you can't eat meat, fish, or drink wine or alcohol. Only you're even on Shabbat. For 6 years, you're only allowed to eat vegetables and fruits and bread. Cheese is allowed. Eggs is allowed.
Dairy you can.
Shabbat
Yeah. Shabbat, you're only allowed to drink wine for Havdalah and Kiddush. That's it. And a piece of chicken just for the Seudah, like what Shabbat. But the whole week, no meat, wine, chicken, fish, asur. For 6 years. Ben Ish Chai did that. He did that, Rabbi said. Morin of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai. 6 years he fasted. He did Tshuvat Kaneh. He had no Yetzer Hara.
How old is he when he passed?
He passed away at the age of 76 years old. He was 76. And when he passed away, if you're already mentioning it, I'm going to tell you a crazy story about he passed away. You know he has 2 graves? One in Baghdad and one in Yerushalayim, R.Zaytim. I was there. I have a picture of me over there. He has 2, on the same day, 2 graves.
Same person?
Same person.
How it's possible?
How it's possible? Excellent question. When the Ben Ish Chai was sick, it was right before Rosh Hashanah. He went to the grave of Yecheskel HaNavi, as was his. That was his minhag to go to pray over there. He went over there and he was sick. They heard in Israel that he was sick. They had the Morse telegram they had back then. Telegram. Couple of days before he passed away, all the rabbis in Porat Yosef, the famous Sephardic yeshiva of Porat Yosef, who made that yeshiva? The Ben Ish Chai did it. He told R.BEN Chazan and the great rabbi and the great rich guy from Mumbai. Back then it was Mumbai. His name was Yosef Shalom. To make a yeshiva instead of a hospital. The guy was so rich. He lived in Bombay. He said, I want to build a hospital in Yerushalayim. The Ben Ish Chai sent him a telegram. He said, don't build a hospital. Anybody can build a hospital. Build a yeshiva. All the big Sephardi rabbis came from that yeshiva. It's called Porat Yosef till today. Stands in Yerushalayim. Who did it? Who did it? Who was the one who convinced him? Ben Ish Chai. That's what's called Porat Yosef. Kol hakavod.
What year was it?
Porat is a pasuk in the Torah. Porat Yosef. This is 108 years ago. Moreid Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai, when he was sick, all the rabbis in Israel were going crazy because they mamash thought he was Mashiach. Either he was Mashiach or either he would be the Navi who would bring the Mashiach. He was very sick. On the 13th of Elul, the night, he passed away already in Baghdad. All of Baghdad closed their stores, all of Iraq, they were crying, one of the biggest levayot. In Israel, I didn't know yet. There was a rabbi called Rav Yehoshua Rav Avraham Ades. He got a dream that he saw the bed where he passed away, the Ben Ish Chai, flying from Baghdad to Jerusalem. It stops on Har HaZeitim, and he sees the face of the guy digging the grave, putting the Ben Ish Chai's body inside the grave and covering it. He wakes up. He already knew that the Ben Ish Chai passed away. It's not a regular dream. The next day he goes to yeshiva. He sees Rav Ben Chazan. He was the secretary of the yeshiva. He looks at him. He sees he had the same dream as him. They both look at each other. They both start to cry on each other on the floor. The rabbis in the yeshiva see them crying. Right away they understood that Ben Ish Chai passed away because they were very close to him. They sent a telegram and they found out that Ben Ish Chai passed away. R.BEN Chazan says to him, I had a dream last night that Ben Ish Chai his bed was flying from Baghdad to Har HaZeitim. Guys, this is a crazy story. Two different locations. He said to him, I had the same dream. Let's go to that Har HaZeitim. They go there. On the way, they see the guy who dug the grave coming to them down the mountain of Har HaZeitim. He says to them, you guys owe me half a lira zahav. Half a lira. I dug the grave for you. Give me half a lira. They were shocked. In the same guy. He gives them the lira. They go up to Har HaZeitim. Fresh grave. Right where they saw in the dream. Covered everything with a matzeva. and they wrote on the matzeva. I have a picture for you guys if you want. Here stands the grave of the Ben Ish Chai that Rav Avram Ades and Rav Ben Chazan saw in the dream, that his bed was buried here.
Wow.
From Baghdad.
That's funny.
Till today, I prayed over there. I had the zechut to pray over there.
So did anybody check if he's buried there or?
Though you can't open up a grave, number one. Number two, obviously his body is over there. What does it mean that his bed went over there? His neshama is in Yerushalayim. His neshama is in Yerushalayim, and that's crazy.
Why didn't
And all the chachamim, where did they pray? In Yerushalayim, in Har Zeitim. I was there. I prayed over there.
Who's gonna pray in Baghdad?
Nobody's over there right now. And there was a crazy story about the Ben Ish Chai in Baghdad, where a goy used to go to his grave and he used to pray. He used to go to the bathroom on all the Jewish graves over there. When he got to the Ben Ish Chai's grave, he tried to use the bathroom and he got paralyzed. Paralyzed, mamash. Ever since that day, no Arab has ever stepped foot next to the Jewish cemetery in Baghdad. That's how the Ben Ish Chai has two graves.
For emergencies.
Yeah, for us. Rabbi Shimon Agassi, the writer of Shara Gilgulim Pirush Bnei Aaron, says that the Ben Ish Chai was the nitzotz of Yosef HaTzadik. That's why he passed away on the way. Just like Yosef HaTzadik, they have to move his body because he passed away, bringing his grave from Yechezkel HaNavi. Just like Yosef HaTzadik that happened to him, so too Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim. Just as he was rich, he was rich. Just as he was the leader of the Jews, he was the leader. Rabbi Shimon Agassi wrote the Gates of commentary on Gates of Reincarnation. He said he was Yosef HaTzadik. Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya said on Rav Shimon Agassi, he was the nitzotz of Moshe Rabbeinu. And Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya was the nitzotz of Aaron HaKohen. Apotai, this is our heritage. These are the stories you have to tell your kids. This is the stories that will make them tzaddikim. This is the stories that will make them chachamim. These are the stories that will give them yirat shamayim. I know a father. I heard this story. The father said, "My son is a Talmid Chacham today because as a young boy, he used to tell him stories of tzaddikim. He aspired to be like them." Morain of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai. Who could say he's gadlut? Who? He had Ruach HaKodesh. Rabotai. He was in jail for 30 days. Jail. They put him in a small jail, in a small bunker over there. When he came out of the jail on the 31st day, he made a she'elat chalom to ask from Shamayim, why was he in jail? After he came out of jail, you know what he said to himself? You know I am in jail because I took kavod from the people. He didn't allow anybody to give him kavod from that day on, to call him rabbi or anything.
How do people call him?
Chacham.
Same thing.
So Chacham is, it says HaChochma techayev be'aleya, harabanut koveret ba'aleya, the Pirkei Avot says. So let's continue. Morain of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai, when he was in jail, made a she'elat chalom, and he saw a malach. He thought that it was a malach. He said to him, well, how come I was in jail for 30 years? It was a Chilul Hashem. The rabbi was in jail. He says, go look behind you. He looked behind him. He says there were 3 groups of little children that all looked like him. Yeah, these are all your kids. These were all nishamot inside the stones of the jail. That these were from your root nishama, and only you, by learning Torah inside that jail for 30 days by heart, could have taken them out.
Wow.
That's why you were in jail there for 30 days. Don't worry, Hilula Hashem, Shminu Hashem. You took nishamot out of there that haven't been out of this since the creation of the world.
Meaning it was part of the plan.
It was part of the plan of Kadosh Baruch Hu. And you know what he wrote inside in the jail by heart? His magnum opus in Kabbalah, Dat Utvunot. Dat Utvuna. I have this book. Yeah, I do. Dat Utvuna. It's a summary and a maskana of all the Shmona Sha'arim of the Ari HaKadosh. Everything. Who could talk more about it? You can't talk about this. I am proud to be a Sfaradi just because I could say Morain of Rabbeinu Ben Ish Chai is our ancestor. I'm proud to say it. And I know that many Iraqis moved to Bukhara, by the way. The family of Chacham Shimon Chacham, was from Iraq. We have a very big connection to these tzaddikim. We can never forget it. We are not allowed to forget it. I didn't light candles today, I'll tell you why. I want everyone here to go home. I'm going to give you a couple of segulot. Not to light one candle. If your wife tells you how come you're doing this, give them my number. The text, not calling. I'm a little strict on these kind of stuff. You have to light 5 candles. The Ben Ish Chai used to say, if you light 5 candles, you have to light them keneged achamisha chasadim. Chesed, Givura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod. It's going to be tikkun for your yesod. You know the hakafot we do all the time? That's a tikkun for the yesod. Chesed, Givura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod. I'm telling you right now, remember it. Netzach, Hod.
I was going to say it in each kingdom.
Hareini Madlik. Behold, I am lighting 5 candles corresponding the 5 chasadim. And you start lighting. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod.
You have special position? Or
Yes, I have a special position for you. Chesed is on the right, Gvura is on the left, Tiferet is in the middle, Netzach is on the right, Hod is on the left. The Ka'ara itself, the actual plate, is the Yesod. And then you have to say a wish. But don't wish for money, this. You know what you're going to wish for? That your descendants, your children, will be tzaddikim. Your grandchildren will all be tzaddikim. Your great-grandchildren will be tzaddikim. And you should be... For the future. And you should be zocheh to see b'biyat goel this year. This year is year Tafshin Pei. I don't want to scare you guys. Tough Pei is, I don't want to say the Samech Mem's wife. Tough Pei, 480. But it's also Tehillim. This is the year of Tehillim, guys.
Can you say the order?
Tough what?
The order of the candle.
Chesed is on the right, connected your right hand. Givura is your left hand. Tiferet is your body. Netzach is your right leg. Hod is your left leg. And I want to tell you guys, I'm not going to take too much of your time. We spoke too much. Or maybe too little. But I want to say that you guys over here, I'm telling you, Ashrechem. Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Ale'ain. Ashrechem v'tovlach, you were zochet to be mishtatef behilulat HaTzadik HaKadosh. Last year, I think, we also made a Hilula, but it wasn't so big. Hilula, R.BEN Yosef Haimi Baghdad. Nitzot Yosef HaTzadik. We're small people. We're not zochet to do fast and stuff. This is our fast. That's why I do this, guys. That's why I do this. We cannot fast this. We're not rich. We can't give tzedakot. This is our tzedakot. We come over here. We're creating a connection between one of our neshamot. Somebody here is from Chesed, or somebody here is from Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. This is it, guys. But I want to teach you kol hakavod. I want to teach you guys a kavanah. I teach you guys a kavanah b'zchut Morin of R.BEN Ben Ish Chai. R.BEN Yosef Chai Baghdad. When you say Vaya'avor, you go every. I hope some people here go to Slichot at least once a week. Once a week, I hope you guys to go to Slichot. I know it's hard. What do you do when you do Slichot? When you say Vaya'avor Amonai al Pana Vayikra. When you say the word Vaya'avor, I'm going to teach you guys a small kavanah. Vaya'avor is Rayo Ab. What's Rayo Ab? Rayo is 216. If you take the name of God, that's Ab, it's Rayo Ab. Ab is 72. 72 times 3 is what? 216. You have to think of the name of God that is 72 3 times. How? I'm going to say it to you in one sentence. This is how you're going to tap in to the Ve'avor Hashem al Panav. Because what's Ve'avor Hashem al Panav? Givura is also 216. But 216 is really 72, which is Chesed 3 times. So inside the Gvura is really what? It's Chesed really. Because Kol Ma David Rachamana, everything Hashem does, Letav Avid, everything He does is for the best, as the Ben Ish Chai, as the Rabbi Akiva said. And Nachum Ish Gamzu used to say, Gamzu leTorah. He was on a higher level. He used to say it in Hebrew. Rabbi Akiva used to say it in Aramaic. It's a difference in Nishamot, because he was his student. Same meaning, but just changing the language already changes it makes a difference. So what are you going to do when you say Ve'avor? You have to think of the letters Yud Vav Dalet, Hey Yud, Vav Yud Vav, Hey Yud 3 times. Whatever I just told you, do it 3 times. When you say Ve'avor Hashem, Al Panav, when you say the word Al Panav, you have to have kavanah, that you want to get the shefa from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not from the back, with the din. You want to get it from the front. Vayikra, what's Vayikra? When Moshe said, Vayikra Hashem el Moshe, the aleph is very small. Why? You have to be humble. If you want to get it from the front, you got to understand that you mevatel yourself. You have to nullify yourself. Vayikra Amonai. Amonai, what's Amonai? Why twice Amonai? Why a pasek? Ben Ishchai says, halakha from the Ben Ishchai. Well, not the Ben Ishchai, but from the Ariya Kadosh. You have to say Amonai. Stop. Short stop. Amonai. Not like our brothers, the Ashkenazim, who they didn't taste from the taste of the Zohar Kadosh and from the Ariya Kadosh as much as we did, obviously. They didn't taste from the Etz Chaim. They say Amonai, Amonai. Yeah. The Ariya Kadosh says, I don't want to say what he says of a person who does that. If they say Amonai, Amonai. Why? The first Amonai is Arich Anpin, Keter. The second Amonai is Ze'er Anpin, Za. Then you have to say Kel Rachum Vechanu. That's the 13 parts of your beard. Anybody who grows a beard, he taps into these 13 attributes every day. Every day. That's why the Zohar says you could tell a person by the length of his beard. If he has a long beard, if he's naturally he grows a very long beard, you could tell where his neshama is from. If he grows a middle beard, middle size, you could tell where his neshama is from. If he grows mamash short, you could tell where his neshama is from. Every part of the neshamot come from a different size. Why? Well, if you have, well, start growing it. So everybody has a different size. I don't know what's your size. You're asking me like, I know, what am I? I don't know. You know, not one size fits all over here. What's going on? What? The longer the beard, the more you could tap into the Arich Anpin, which is Chesed and Rachamim. By the way, the whole sin of the Jewish people in the desert, because they just wanted to get the Shefa from Arich Anpin. They didn't want to go through Ze'er Anpin, which is the Vav of God's name. They just wanted to tap into the Kots of the Yod. They wanted complete mercy. We mess up, right away forgiveness. We do bad, right away forgiveness. They wanted to see Hashem, mamash, as we're children, and Hashem is our Father. They didn't want to grow up. That's why when they went inside Eretz Yisrael, it was cataclysmic. Because this is a generation, it was mifunak. You know what mifunak is? Spoiled out of their brains. They saw Hashem every day. They saw the fire coming down every day. They saw HaKadosh Baruch Hu in their eye. They saw their parnasak. They didn't have to work. Their parnasak came to him, right? You know what their parnasak was? Walking. They had to walk to their man. In other words, the water used to turn into wine on Shabbat. So when they go to Eretz Yisrael, we have to fight now. We have to conquer now. Oh. So they wanted to stay children. They didn't want to get... That's why the Torah says in Parashat Devarim, look at these words. God carried you as a person carries a suckling child. What do you think? That's for coincidence? God compared us to that? We were like a suckling child. You cry, you take the baby. He made, you changed him. They didn't even have to go to the bathroom. Why? You think God is going to change all of them over there? What is this? God gave them the power that all their food absorbs into their body. You understand? So when a person understands that he has to reach the state of gadlut, you have to reach a state of maturity, then your life changes. Because then you could reach the state of the dikna. Now, what's the kavanah? There is Amonai, Kel, Rachum, Vechanun, Erech Apayim, V'rav Chesed, Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed, La'alafim, Nose Avon L'Pesha V'chata'a V'nakeh, 13, yes? Those 13 are really the outside. They're not the inside. The real Shefa is written in the book of prophets. In the book of Micha. מיקל כמוך נושא עוון ועובר הפשע לשארית נחלתו לא החזיק לעד אפו כי חפץ חסד הוא ושוב רחמני לכבוש עוונותינו לשיר בצורת ים כל חטאותם תן אמת ליעקב חסד לאברהם אשר נשבעת לאבותינו מימי קדם. Every time you say one of the 13 attributes of mercy, you got to think of one of the 13 attributes written in the prophets. And that way you bring the outside with the inside, you put them together, and you get the full brunt of the force. When I say force, I'm not talking about Star Wars, Chas v'Shalom. I'm talking about Yud Kei Vav Kei. I'm talking about the force. I'm talking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The ultimate force.
The one and only. You know, guys, we're going to end with this. I wanted to make a whole thing out of it, but I don't think I'm going to have time because this is going to be our last shiur before Rosh Hashanah. It's our last shiur before Rosh Hashanah. L'chod R.BEN Ish Chai. The reason is because I also need some time to rejuvenate and to tap into the Rosh Hashanah. I need that too. So this is going to be our last shiur before Rosh Hashanah. We're going to end with a big note. I want to know how important it is. How important it is. Abotai, I teach history. The cultures that are out there in the world, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Native Americans, human sacrifices. Human sacrifices. They used to go to war just to get human sacrifices. That's it. They had so much land, they didn't care anymore. They had so much gold, so much everything. Just to sacrifice to the sun god, to this god, to the serpent. That a god every single day of the week. Every single day, yeah. Sunday is a new god, Monday is a new god, and every god was a different. Everything was different. Such avodah zarah, such shpichut damim. The Rambam says, what makes HaKadosh Baruch Hu the ultimate God? What do I mean ultimate? That He's Echad, Yachid, Umiyuchad. When we comprehend that He has no goof. He has no body. Body means that you have limitations. If you have a limitation, you can't be Hashem. So understanding that God doesn't have a form means that you understand that God is Ein Sof. The Rambam says in Moreh Nevuchim. I was a bit perplexed, so I had to open a guide to the perplexed. So we're going to the Rosh Hashanah to understand you guys are a race. You're not a religion, you're a race. You're the sons of Avraham. I have a hard time explaining this to my students in history class. You are the sons of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You are a race. Ki bi hashak Hashem. God wants you. God wants your heritage. God wants you to remember. Zechor yemot olam binu shno dor vador. You gotta tap into it. Only Zchut Avot saves us, guys, by the way. Only Zchut Avot. When Rosh Hashanah comes, only Zchut Avot. So we pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that all the sponsors of this year should be blessed. B'zchut R.BEN Ish Chai HaKadosh. May Hashem bless everyone over here in the name of R.BEN Yosef Chaim. May you have Yosef Chaim. May God add life onto your life. May Hashem bless you with Baracha, Parnasa, Refuah, Yeshuot, Zivugim Agunim, L'Rachman Ben Dina ve'Eliyahu Ben Osnat. May Hashem bless you with Tzidkut, with Torah, with Mitzvot, with Maasim Tovim. V'chen Yiratzon v'nomar. Amen. Rabbi Hanan ben Akashia אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את